Thank you. I thank you very much, Greg Lee and the Sauls for hosting me here. What a what a beautiful setting. I mean, this is almost idyllic if you think about what campaigning for president should be about. It should be about going and meeting folks and summer picnics and opportunity to get a chance to interact with folks, and this is just perfect. So if you can give the Sauls a big round of applause again, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much to both of you for opening up your home and for hosting me here. What I love to do at these at events like this is give a little bit of an introduction as to why I'm here. Why I decided to run for president, because it's always should be the first question on people's minds is why are you doing this, and then just sort of open it up to you to take your questions, and we'll take questions for a while. And I know the food's behind me, so I feel like I've created a barrier between you and the food, which I really didn't want to do, but so we won't go on too long, but we'll take some questions, and then I'm here for as long as. Well, as long as they allow me to stay here to interact with you and get a chance to answer questions one-on-one and get a chance to talk to you and meet with you, that's what I really look forward to doing. So let me answer that first question by doing one thing. First, introducing my traveling aide that has been traveling with me since Sunday. We came out to Iowa together after celebrating our youngest son's birthday. We have 7 children, and our youngest son just turned 10 years old on July the 3rd. And after celebrating his birthday, we came out the night of the 3rd, and we've been traveling around Iowa ever since. And that's my oldest son, John, who's right back there over there. Say, wave, John, so everybody knows who you are. There you go. And we are going to be bringing the rest of the family to Iowa, which I understand is a great place to vacation. And so we're going to vacation in Iowa for 3 weeks, leading up to a little event that's going to be occurring in Ames on August the 13th. And we'll be spending a week at a cottage on a farm, and doing that down in Oskaloosa, and then we're going to spend a couple of weeks up in the Des Moines area as we prepare for the August 13th festivities in Ames. Let me just get back to sort of the question that I started with is, why am I doing this? The best answer I can give you is that I don't think anybody should run for president of the United States unless they feel like they were really called to do that. If you're running for president because you think you're the best, you're the best guy, or that this is something you've always wanted to do, I just don't think that's the reason you run. You run because you feel like this is what you've been called by your country and by your God to do. And I really felt like, and through this process that we've been traveling around Iowa and the rest of the country and looking at the state that our country's in, I just felt like I needed to do something. I couldn't sit on the sidelines. Like many people who were involved in the Tea Party movement over the past year and a half, couldn't sit on the sideline and watch what was going on to this country happen. When I was campaigning, and I did back in 2009 and 2010, I would get around because I was so concerned about the big events happening in Washington, D.C. I would travel around the country and I would say, the 2010 election is the most important election in the history of the country since 1860, I would say. And now I can say that was true up until this election. Because in the last election, we did something that was very important. We stopped a lot of bad things from continuing to happen. We stopped President Obama and the left in their tracks from further exploding the size and scale of government and impinging upon freedom here in America. But we have a job to do yet. And the job is, as I said, the most important election since 1860, to get back what I believe is at the core of America, that I believe is at risk in this country. When I announced for president back in June of this year, just about a month ago, I did so in a little town in Somerset County, Pennsylvania. It's a little rural town in southwestern Pennsylvania. It's famous recently because that's where Flight 93 went down. In fact, I announced about 5 miles away from where that flight went down. And I found it to be an interesting place for me to announce it, not just because of that flight going down, because it's also the place that my grandfather and my father came when they came to this country back in the 1920s, 27 for my grandfather, and my father came a little later in 1930. And my grandfather came here because he left Mussolini's Italy. He left a country that was being run by a dictator who was telling him and his family how to live their lives, taking care of them, controlling things from the capital, and dictating what rights and responsibilities every every Italian had. And my grandfather, who was a very independent guy, said he would never